And now, iHeartRadio presents the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida.
If you want to crown them, then crown them. They are who we thought they were.
Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome, everybody, to the Sunshine State's only true sports talk radio show where we focus on the teams and the topics of interest to the Sunshine State. We are Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. I am Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. That man right there in the YouTube camera I'm looking at right now is Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports talk radio. The man behind the glass is the prodigy of production, primetime Jaden Grimes. And we are live from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeartRadio app. And we are fired up, Kravy Kravs, to talk a little sports today.
Absolutely. Today is Wednesday. It's hump day. It's the perfect transition between the end of recapping what we watched last weekend and then previewing what is to come. It's kind of that middle point of the week. I'm a little bit stressed though, Mike, because I'm part of this new podcast, The Favorites, and I'm on these group chats and things, and they want to insert more personality and life into this podcast channel, not just NFL picks. And I'm realizing how boring my life is. I mean, I love it, but in terms of sharing things that happen on a day-to-day basis, they're like, all right, yeah, throw some stories into the rundown for tomorrow's show. Mike, I don't do anything. I mean,
Kravitz is like, well, I get up and I do radio show prep.
Guys, listen to this. I spent 45 minutes on several waiver wires last night. It was thrilling. I just like talking about games. I don't think I'm a boring person, but I'm definitely I definitely do dull activities at this point. I'm just trying to stay alive at this stage in the game.
You know me, I'm the same way. In fact, I'm playing hurt today.
That's right.
Drinking, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm drinking my lemon hot water with honey, which I believe is overrated, but they say that's what you're supposed to do. So I am doing it. All right.
Well, you sound great, Mike. What do you say we hit him with the news?
Let's do it. On Monday, report emerged regarding new domestic violence accusations against Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill. Earlier today, Coach Mike McDaniel addressed the situation during his usual midweek press conference. Quote, "We've been in communication with the NFL and will let the process play out," McDaniel said. I'm assuming McDaniel is referring to the league's in-house investigative procedures, which unfold under the auspices of the personal conduct policy. Even without criminal charges, the league can and often does review evidence of allegations of misconduct. I guess that's what they're going to do here. Hill's wife, Kravitz, Keita Vaccaro, I don't know if you've seen some of the allegations. 8 separate incidents of domestic violence she's accusing him of. He denies it. She claims Hill, quote, violently attacked her, throwing her to the floor, twisting her intimate body parts, ripping her hair out. She also claims he got physical with her while she was pregnant. Again, Tyreek Hill and his attorneys vehemently deny this. Kravitz, one of the things I used to always tell my daughters is to make good decisions, all right, when they were younger. Whether these specific allegations are true or not, somewhere along the line, Tyreek Hill made some bad decisions in his relationship with his wife.
Because even if they're not true, you still put yourself in a position where somebody is willing to say those things about you, right, which means you're not a good person. That just doesn't happen to good people. I don't know a single good person that's ever been accused of domestic abuse, sexual assault, or anything like that. Now, not everybody that gets accused of those things has actually done them, but most of them are, especially those within relationships, long-term relationships, where then that becomes something that somebody's willing to go out and say to authorities about you. Usually you're not a good person. So don't want to paint a broad brush, but
although I don't know how long-term, haven't they only been been married like 8 months or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean more than like a chance encounter
Right.
at a party kind of
Right.
thing.
Right. All right. One of Florida State's biggest critics, Paul Feinbaum, is now on the Seminole bandwagon after the Seminoles steamrolled Feinbaum's precious Alabama team in the opener and then destroyed FCS opponent East Texas A&M on Saturday. Listen to Feinbaum.
I'm in. I'm a little bit disappointed they gave up that field goal. I thought it was going to be perfect, but Florida State is back. Mark it down right here. Sell all your stock and everything else. Listen, they have a long way to go, but I think Mike Norvell restocked his roster, and they're looking legitimate. They do have a couple of big games ahead, though.
Kravitz, we'll get into this story deeper later, but as somebody who grew up as an FSU fan, are you buying that the Seminoles are back?
I'm not yet. I think the ranking for them is kind of crazy when you think about it. They beat Alabama, very impressive. That takes you from unranked to top 10. They're a top 10 team. That just seems a little bit extreme based on what the perception of them was going into the year. And a lot of that perception was based off of last year, which maybe isn't unfair because there's so much turnover in college football. And a lot of the perception was a complete unknown. So now we're saying, no. They got one good win under their belt. The other one doesn't even matter against East Texas A&M. And they're a top 10 team in college football.
Right.
And this is only going to grow from here because they play Kent State and Virginia up next. It's clear that Florida State is playing determined. They are playing with attitude. But am I willing to say they're back, as in they're going to be in the conversation for a college football playoff to contend for a conference title? I just don't know how you can say that without a garnet and gold shirt on. I think that you're being
because college football is so transient on a year-to-year basis that these things can happen.
I'm not saying they
happen.
can't.
You
I'm just
can
saying
go from bad to good or from good to bad to great in 1 year. We saw it with Florida State last year.
Yeah, and I try and be a little bit more patient when it comes to college football than even with the NFL, because we just kind of know year over year what these teams are, who their opponents are. I think it's easier to read, and you can still overreact. I mean, it's 1 week, so that can happen anywhere. But I think you get a better idea of what a team actually is in the NFL through 1 week than in college football. You need things to breathe a little bit more. It's the same thing I would say to Gator fans on the other end of the spectrum. They're freaking out because they lost to USF. Give it a second. Wait to see what happens over the next couple of weeks before you go bailing water.
Speaking of college football, Ohio State coach Ryan Day said yesterday he is not a fan of the proposal that would bring major changes to the transfer portal. The NCAA announced last week that the FBS Oversight Committee voted to move the winter transfer portal window from December to January, shifting it to a 10-day period that would start on January 2nd. If that happens, if that's approved, it would open the transfer portal would open 1 day after the college football playoff quarterfinals are completed. This year's quarterfinals are January 8th and 9th, respectively. The transfer portal window would then close on January 11th. Here's Ryan Day.
I don't think it's a good idea at all. In the conversations that we had with the Big Ten coaches, I think the majority of them agree. I just don't quite understand how, for teams that are playing in the playoffs are expected to, make the decisions and sign their upcoming players while they're still getting ready to play for games.
Kravitz, I agree with him. College football has long clung to this idea of, you have to adhere to the academic calendar as if college football is primarily now about classroom schedules. Stop it. Just open the portal for 10 days after the playoff is over and let the players go transfer where they want to. If it's the middle of the semester, so be it. Just enroll the next semester. Stop acting like you're an academic endeavor when you're not.
Mike, I hate to disagree with you because it is a mess. I mean, there's no denying that the fact that you can transfer while in the midst of a playoff run. It happened to Ohio State last year.
Yes.
Their backup quarterback transferred, or at least entered his name into the portal while Ohio State was preparing for a national championship game. So yes, that's a disaster. But as long as you are still a college, you have to operate under college rules. And if that's, I mean, it's obviously silly, but I think you do, as long as they are still attached at the hip, the academics and the football, then you have to adhere to the academic calendar.
Why can't you just open it after the playoff and let them go? And then they can still go to their school and get acclimated and then just enroll the next semester. What's so complicated about that? In fact, it's probably better than them rushing to enroll and getting into class.
I'm actually surprised that you don't love that colleges aren't bending to this. That they at least want to treat everybody the same, whether you're the star quarterback at Ohio State or you're Joe Smith who's taking biology. Everybody has the same window. I'm surprised that you don't appreciate that.
And if you're transferring, first of all, if you're transferring, you're not really worried about academics anyways, because if you were worried about academics, you would just stay at your current school and get your degree much quicker than if you transfer.
I'm sure that it happens where, you have an LSU wide receiver that wants to go to Michigan, but then some of his science credits don't transfer. So He's like, I don't know that I can make this move. I don't know. I don't want to take Algebra 2 again. I mean, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. I'm not sure if it's working or not.
Those are your highlights and headlines.
Yeah, college football. They just, it's so ridiculous. Coming up next, there is an AP voter who has some silly logic as to how she lands on her rankings.
She has no logic. There's no logic.
We'll see if we can dig into that. Haley Sawyer is the topic at hand coming up after this.
We'll be right back after this.
Football season is here. That means it's game time, and you know what teams you can trust. You know what teams you can't. No different for your AC team. That's why I trust Mills Air. They don't cut corners. They don't play games. They just deliver every single time. Think of them as the MVP of keeping your home nice and cool. Whether it's routine maintenance, fast repairs, or a downright emergency, Mills Air keeps your home comfortable and energy efficient all year long. And they've been doing that for Orlando homeowners and business owners since 1992. Mills Air is also a Carrier Factory authorized dealer. What does that mean for you? That means they offer rebates up to $1,275 for a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always rely on the family-owned and operated Mills Air. The number to call, 407-277-1159, and online at millsair.com.
Hey, are you ready for a weekend getaway that's got something for everyone? Then pack your bags and head to Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, just a short drive from Orlando, right there next to Claremont. Mission Resort is renowned for its 2 stunning championship golf courses. I especially love El Campeon, the Champion. It was founded in 1917 and is one of the most tradition-steeped courses in the Southeast. Book your tee times, and when you check in at the pro shop, tell them Bianchi sent you, and you'll get a free bucket of range balls. But there's more than just golf. You can also play pickleball, tennis, rent a boat at the marina, and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. Also, Mission Resort would like to invite everyone out to the Howey Artesian Market, your local destination for all things handmade and homemade, on September 27th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., rain or shine. Make hotel reservations, golf tee times, and get information on the Artesian Market at missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort, your next great escape is closer than you think.
Afternoon traffic is starting to pile up in some familiar areas on the major roadways. There's also a couple accidents to keep an eye out for. I-4 eastbound at Orange Blossom Trail on Florida's Turnpike northbound before that I-4 exit. There's a crash reported on Kirkman Road southbound at Metro West Boulevard. Emergency crews are on the roadways clearing up a crash there. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the traffic center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Bet Online.
Bet
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your football betting action. BetOnline has all the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From every pro to college game, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering info. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
September 19th and 20th at T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. Streaming live only on Hulu.
Limited tickets still available at AXS.com.
Get yours while you still can.
Gear up, music fans. Hyundai is back as a proud partner of the 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Join us as our electrifying all-star lineup hits the stage like never before.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Orlando.
Get ready for an epic engagement event at International Diamond Center. 3 days, September 19th through 21st. IDC's flying in the entire collections, all the newest styles from both Tacori and Verragio. Hundreds of new rings to choose from. Tacori and Verragio, the world's 2 premier ring designers, together on the IDC stage with special incentives or zero interest financing through 2028. See Tacori's latest, handcrafted by true California artisans with exquisite detail. And from New York, see the newest creations from Verragio. Unique, distinctive, and personalized. Buy any Tacori or Verragio ring at this event and get a $500 IDC gift card. Buy the engagement ring with a matching wedding band and get a $1,000 gift card. Also, check out new fine jewelry from these renowned designers. Let the experts at IDC help you find both the perfect ring and the most dazzling diamond during this incredible 3-day event. Get the guaranteed best price, up to $1,500 in savings, or interest-free financing till 2028. It's September 19th, 20th, and 21st. Only at International Diamond Center. Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennium. On approved credit.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
Hey, this is Matt Jones. I'm Drew Franklin, and this is NFL Cover Zero. We're just here to try to give you an NFL perspective a little bit different. Did you see the Colts pretzel? That was my other big takeaway from that game. What was that? Oh, my. We think NFL coverage should be informative and entertaining. And twice a week, that is exactly what you're going to get. Open up your free iHeartRadio app, search NFL Cover Zero with Matt Jones and Drew Franklin, and listen now.
If you're not just looking for good beer, but one of the best beers you'll ever try in your life, I encourage you to check out the menu over at Hourglass Brewing. 2 locations, one in Longwood, one near downtown. They call that their district location. Hourglass Brewing is a first-class brewery that did make the best beer ever, Zoneheads 35, and hopefully at the end of the year we get another batch of that as well. And they crank out the hits on the daily. If you love beer, no matter the type, IPAs, that's my flavor, sours, lagers, they have something for you. I guarantee that. And if you want to save $1 or $2, stop by for happy hour. $3 I4 iSource citrus lagers from 4 to 6 p.m. all day on Mondays. They even have wine, ciders, seltzers. They've got something for everyone. Cozy up to the bar. Get to know their their incredibly friendly staff. And again, they've got 2 locations that you can frequent, one in Longwood in my neck of the woods and also on Curry Ford Road. And stay tuned for more information on Game On Happy Hours, which will be happening over the next couple of months. It's Hourglass Brewing. We'll see you there.
The UCF Knights play here. Catch every game right here on 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Game On rolls on with Bianchi and Kravitz right here on AM 930 in Jacksonville, FM 96.5 The Spear in Tallahassee, and home base Orlando, Florida, FM 96.9 The Game, and streaming everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, as well as the YouTube machine, as Mike Bianchi would call it. You look lovely, by the way, that shiny bald head. You do need to clean up that desk behind you, though. It's a little cluttered. You got a lot of clutter behind you.
Actually, I usually have some jerseys up here, and I'm getting them framed for my background. So I'm gonna clean all this up.
You got a frame guy?
No, we just ordered some frames and put the jerseys in it.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
It is time now for our daily coach quote of the day, our daily source of inspiration and motivation. Today's lesson is this: the best work generally comes in response to taking on something that has a high probability of failure. While chasing something big, your best work emerges.
Absolutely.
Sounds like what I tell myself when I'm betting the whole Sunday slate. The best work comes from taking on something that has a high probability of failure.
I don't know if that's what the quote is.
That's how I digested that. How do you take that?
Everybody, yeah. You want to challenge yourself. You want to challenge yourself with something big. Set your goals high. Dare to dream. All of that. If you can dream it, you can do it. As Walt Disney once.
That's right. And that's the only way to accomplish something big is to go after something big, and going after big things can lead to failure. You have to be okay with that, which is the case for young Haley Sawyer. Oh, she's making the waves over the last couple of days. Haley Sawyer, you probably don't know the name, or maybe you've learned it in the last 24 hours. She covers USC for SoCal News, and she has an AP vote for the top 25. And people are calling for that vote.
At least temporarily.
Well, I don't know if she still has it. It could be stripped by now. People are calling for it to be stripped. And why? Well, I'll tell you. Florida suffered the worst loss of any team so far this season when the Gators fell 18-16 at home to USF. The loss sent the Gators tumbling from 13 to all the way out of the AP top 25. For most people. Not in Haley Sawyer's ballot. Sawyer thought that UF's performance was good enough to move them up a couple of spots from 16 to 14 after the loss. And somehow USF still remained outside of the top 25 entirely. But don't worry, Mike. She has her reasons.
As far as what my votes are and what my process is, I wake up early in the morning after covering a game late in the night before. Don't want to go too much into my progress or process or logic, but I will say I appreciate everybody's interaction on social media and all of your feedback. There's tons of people that vote on the AP poll, and it's not a perfect system, but at the end of the day, no matter who you pick, it does even out because there's so many people who vote. And like I said, it's really fun for discussion. It doesn't probably matter in the end, but I'm glad that people are having a really good time with it.
I'm just glad.
Take her vote away. Take her vote away.
I'm just glad people are having fun, Mike. That's what she
Take
said.
her vote away immediately. Okay? People are having fun. This isn't fun. Okay? Yes, it's fun, but you also have to take your vote seriously. And I can tell you exactly what happened here, Kravitz. I can tell you exactly what happened because I used to be an AP voter. All right.
Yep.
Okay. So
what happened, by the way? Why are you not an AP voter anymore?
They rotate them in and out.
Okay.
They rotate them in and out. Matt Murschell's an AP voter for the Orlando Sentinel. But Here's what happens. AP, you have to have your AP vote in like 11 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. All right. That's when that's sort of your deadline for getting the votes in. All right. So she's on the West Coast. All right. And this is just me theorizing here. She's on the West Coast. She probably covered a game the night before. She probably slept in to a point where she was rushing to get her vote in, and she probably didn't even know that Florida had lost to USF. Okay. And so she just moved Florida up a couple of spots. That's why she said, I'm not really going to go into my process, because she didn't have a process, because she was frantically filling her ballot out to get it in. That's my theory, and I'm sticking by it until she says something differently.
I look at this a different way. I don't blame her, frankly. I blame the system. All she did was shine a light.
Because she was derelict in her duties? You're blaming the system.
Yeah, I blame the system. I blame the system for even giving somebody who has the sort of workload that she does a vote like this. All she did was shine a light on how stupid and arbitrary it all is. The people at the votes, Mike, you've been one of them. They're watching games at stadiums. They're writing stories until deep into the night for one particular team. It would be like me being asked after working a Magic game at night, okay, now power rank the NBA while I'm sitting there at the Kia Center. I would have a decent idea because I know basketball, but I'm not the best person to ask, as opposed to having somebody that's able to sit back and observe the entire league more closely. That's the way that this should be done.
And who would that be?
Oh God, I mean, you could come up with I don't know.
So what? You just want some random fan who's sitting
I don't
at
want
home all
fans,
day?
but like you could get media people that cover college football at large, and not people that are stuck. If you are watching a single game
the national writers are covering games too.
Why do they have to be
covering bigger games?
They don't have to be writers.
Or broadcasters are covering.
Yeah, you sit back if you work at ESPN or something like that. You sit back, you got all the games on the screens in front of you. There's a committee for the college football playoff. Let's just hire the committee year round and let's have them do it. Let us know what you think.
Be fine with me.
50857 or hit us up on the iHeartRadio talkback.
Fine with me.
Up next, OJ McDuffie, Dolphins legend, sounds off on his squad. You won't want to miss this. Next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
In my adult life, I've always believed two things, right? You want to have two types of businesses you can trust. You want to have a car mechanic you can trust, all right? And you want to have an AC company you can trust. And that's why I deal with Ziegler Air Conditioning. I told you guys, a Labor Day weekend, my AC went out. It's 96 degrees outside. I have friends over, and I think the day is ruined, but Ziegler Air Conditioning, they were at my house in an hour and a half. I called their emergency number. The guy was open. He came over in an hour and a half, fixed my AC, and that is why I'm a Ziegler AC guy. All right. There are a lot of AC companies in Orlando, but Pat Ziegler and his crew just celebrated 40 years right here in Central Florida. 40 years of honest, reliable service. They installed my carrier unit. They maintained that unit. And yes, if something goes wrong, they fix that unit. Unlike other companies who send sales advisors with the text just to push new systems for a big commission, Ziegler doesn't do that. Their technicians are paid well to do great work and not to upsell you. Plus, Ziegler's a carrier and a factory authorized dealer. What does that mean? That means they can get you even better deals and rebates than most companies. And when you call Ziegler Air, you're not talking to a machine. You're talking to a real person. Meredith is her name. She's a great lady. She'll get the ball rolling on whatever you need. Ziegler Air Conditioning, 407-245-8765, 407-245-8765. Ziegler Air. Don't ever lose your cool.
Football season is fully loaded, and your place to get in on all the action is Florida's only legal sportsbook, Hard Rock Bet. The Hard Rock Bet Party is live, and consider this your official invite. Sign up, bet $5 on any game. If it wins, you also score $150 in bonus bets. Now, that's what I call a parlay. A winning bet and a boosted bankroll. Perfect way to continue on with the beginning of this NFL season. Primetime specials, anytime touchdowns. The menu is limitless. If you're looking for an edge on your next bet, you can find crazy stats and trends on the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. Just last night, we talked about this. Aaron Jones, Monday Night Football, he had recorded 20-plus receiving yards against the Bears 9 times in a row. Make it 10. We hit it last night. Head over to Hard Rock Bet and roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21-plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Welcome to Embers Only on iHeartRadio Orlando, brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Step inside the luxury cigar lifestyle with our Cigar of the Week. And not only is this a great cigar, it is an unbelievable deal from a reputable maker. It's the Rocky Patel Quarter Century Robusto, and this is a celebration of their 25th anniversary. What you have here is a masterpiece, medium-bodied blend wrapped up in a Maduro Mexican San Andres wrapper, Honduran binders, Nicaraguan fillers, and aged an extra 2 years after rolling. What that gives you is a beautiful smoke from the very first draw all the way to last. And this deal is incredible. Online only. This box is usually $277, now only $99.95 while supplies last. So grab it today. It's the Rocky Patel Quarter Century Robusto, and it is your Cigar of the Week. Thanks so much for joining us for Embers Only. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Downtown, Heathrow, Sand Lake, Sarasota, Tampa, and always online at coronacigar.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000, 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
Let's watch a movie.
And we have Netflix included to enjoy our favorite shows and movies.
¿Qué tal esta? Bacanísima, pero ya la vi.
Now the hard part is getting them to agree on a movie.
Switch today and get the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus with Galaxy AI, all on the best network in the U.S. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla. Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
Hey there, Central Florida, Fox 35, Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergen here. We are looking at some lowering rain chances for the rest of this week. Temperatures will be back into the mid-80s for the weekend. Lots of sunshine and mostly dry as well. Going into the tropics, we're watching a 20% chance of development in the deep tropics over the next week. Candidly, it's not a concern for us here right now. We'll continue to watch it. Gabrielle remains the next theme up for at least the next week and a half. There's nothing on the horizon to threaten Florida anytime soon.
Ryan Seacrest with you, and this is your savings tip for summer. Shop Staples for school supplies as low as 25 cents. Plus, more great deals for teachers and students on top brands and trending styles. Kind of makes me wish I was in school again. Staples, that was easy.
Help 96.9 The Game and AM 810 Fox Sports Radio Orlando save lives by donating blood on the Big Red Bus this Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Everyone that donates will get a free ticket to SeaWorld Orlando, Howl O Scream, and a one-of-a-kind Halloween t-shirt. Get more info on our event calendar at 969thegame.com. Another week of Dolphins football has come and gone. Let's recap all the action with the legend himself. Presented by the Flynn Law Office.
Oh my, Rick, what a beautiful play. O.J. McDuffie, the number one pick.
Here's O.J. McDuffie.
What's up, Dolphins? I'm still a little pissed. It's still in mourning right now.
Miami has the Dolphins.
Oh, was a rough one. Dolphins legend O.J. McDuffie joins us as we continue to wrap up week one for the Miami Dolphins. This segment presented by Trey Flynn Law. Your free case evaluation, just a click or a phone call away. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. OJ not pulling any punches on social media. Are you still angry? Or have you been able to get over the anger that was caused this weekend? Where are you at?
Angry, B. I'm not. You know, I mean, I can't control the outcome. We can't control the outcome. We're just fans. But the only problem is we got to wait another week to see if what we saw was what it was or what it's going to be or what it is, you know? And so I'm like, I mean, I not in a million years would I think that we'd show up for week one and go out there and be so putrid, man. It was so bad.
It was very bad. It was bad from pretty much every direction. The Colts looked like Peyton Manning levels of efficient offensively. Defensively, they were swarming everything the Dolphins wanted to do. In your estimation, and there's probably no wrong answer here, of all the things that went wrong, what went the most wrong on Sunday?
You know what? I mean, we could talk about the offense and what they did. I think what went the most wrong was something we talked about last week because we thought that defense and that defensive front would be so much better. And they got dominated. They really got dominated. And I thought that even if the offense struggled in some form or fashion, that, you know, the defensive front and the defense would be able to hold down. We were all worried about the cornerback position, and that wasn't even a problem. I thought we got beat up in the trenches. I thought our trench guys would be better than what they were. Our linebackers, yeah, they made a bunch of tackles. I mean, they had to. 14 and 13 tackles from Brooks and Dotson, and that's unacceptable when you 8 from Minkah Fitzpatrick. So I mean, these guys get to the next level so easily, and that's why our tackles are being made. So I was really more disappointed in our front seven than I was on anybody. On our back guys on the back end, they didn't do too bad. You know, it wasn't crazy in terms of like our corners getting beat all the time, but our front seven got dominated.
OJ, what were your thoughts on Xavier Howard, the former Dolphins DB, saying that, hey, if you take away Tua's first read, he goes into panic mode. it certainly looked like maybe there was something to that on Sunday. Has Tua digressed, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, you know what? It's tough because it's on the receivers to make sure that he has that first read, because you watch some of the other games all weekend long and you see these quarterbacks that once things break down, they're dynamic, they're able to go out there and create. Tua does not have that ability, and it's unfortunate that he doesn't. So, yeah, Xavier's not wrong. That first read is for Tua, and if the second read is not there, by the time the second read is there or close to there, the pressure's on him. So, yeah, I'm with him, man. He knows that. The league knows that. And it's interesting watching some of these other quarterbacks who have so much more to offer than just the ability to read defense or throw the rock. But when things break down, they're able to create. We saw a lot of creation from a lot of different quarterbacks, and Tua doesn't seem to have that ability.
I'm curious. I have a theory. I don't know if you agree with it or not, but Tua obviously has been injured a lot and taken some hard hits. To be a great quarterback, if you're going to stand in the pocket, you have to drop back and stand tall and deliver the ball even when you are taking a hit. Could Tua be a little bit gun shy?
Yeah, well, you know what? When you've gone through what he's going through, you can be, and he probably might be. But you're right, though. You've got to sit in there. I mean, hell, I played with a quarterback that told Urban Fryer, they're going to bring this corner blitz. Don't worry about it. You just keep going, because I know they're going to bring this safety down to cover you. You just keep running. I'll take the hit, and I'll make the throw. And that's the great Dan Marino. And sure as hell, he did that for a long touchdown against New England, back when I played. So part of the game is for these quarterbacks to sit in there, stare down a blitz, stare down a free rusher, and and still have to deliver. But when you've had the history that Tua's had, I get it. That's why they want to let the ball out so quick. That's why we don't see Waddle and Tyreek Hill getting deep as much as we used to, because they don't want him to hold on to the rock that long. But in this game, you've got to be able to threaten it deep. And you've got to really sit there, knowing you're about to get popped in the mouth. And, it's not easy. I mean, it's not easy for anybody. That's why quarterbacks make the big bucks, because, we ask them to do this, but Tua is not in a position to do so. And when that first read is gone, it's trouble for us. That's for sure.
Talking to OJ McDuffie, Dolphins legend. This segment presented by Trey Flynn Law. Tyreek Hill was seen all fired up on the sideline during the game. Is there any word about him still struggling as a leader in the locker room? Any sort of attitude issues? Or are we just talking in this particular instance about a passionate player that happened to be caught on camera?
Yeah, you know what? It's we're all gonna be passionate about it. Tua made some comments about guys coming in on Tuesdays. I'm wondering what that means. Are guys still messing up? We had so many plays that we ran that that started inside of 5 seconds or ended inside of 5 seconds with all the motions and shifts that we have. Are guys going to the right places and things like that? I don't know if Tyreek's one of those guys that Tua's kind of signaling out, but I love his passion as long as he's doing the right thing. But don't say that, and then we look at film, and then he's a guy that's messing up over and over again like he did the last couple of years. We don't know that. We don't know who's wrong, but nobody took blame for what happened on Sunday. So we don't know who's to blame for most of the problems that we've had. So I like Tyreek's fire. We got to find a way to get him the football, but at the same time, I hope he's doing the right things as well.
Yeah, I think the accountability thing was something that rubbed me the wrong way after the game as well. The Patriots are in somewhat of a similar situation as the Dolphins. The Dolphins got blown out more than the Patriots did, but the Pats still lost a game that they probably should have won against the Raiders. Miami's owned this matchup over the years, especially down in Miami. How are you feeling about this particular weekend?
I was feeling great 2 weeks ago. I was feeling great 2 weeks ago. Now, not so much.
Hard to be confident.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, it really is, man. Even down here in Miami, we'll see what adjustments we make, but yeah, the Pats didn't look great at all either. They played against a Raiders team that I thought that didn't look as great either. So it was kind of a good matchup for them. But I felt the same way about us and the Colts. Hopefully the Colts are better than I thought they were going to be, and that'll make me feel a lot better about my predictions when it came to the Dolphins game. But the Pats coming down here, we should be able to rectify our situation. I think that we're so caught up on last week's game. I hope the team feels like that's not us. We got to go out there and prove ourselves better, and we got to do it at home against a division as well as, a conference and division foe in the New England Patriots. So I hope that's the attitude that we have this week.
I think you're onto something, too. If the Dolphins can beat the Patriots by whatever score, doesn't matter, just walk out with a dub, and then the Colts beat the Broncos to start 2-0, all of a sudden, maybe you start looking at week 1 a little bit differently.
I hope so. B, because I'll tell you what, the Colts they were impressive. Maybe we're that bad, or maybe they can be kind of that good. I hope they're kind of that good. That'd be great for us.
Miami Dolphins analyst and legend OJ McDuffie. Always appreciate your weekly visit, my friend.
You guys sound like Gator fans talking about USF. Maybe USF's good.
Well, yeah. Well, that USF Miami game's gonna be interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah, some big ones down in South Florida this weekend. Thanks so much, OJ. Enjoy it.
Thanks, OJ.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Remember to have fun, OJ. He looked very depressed earlier in the week. This segment brought to you by Trey Flynn Law, board certified in criminal trials, both at the state and federal level. That's Trey Flynn Law, 407-557-6350. Up next, your time to chime in on all of the things that we've talked about, and it's a Game On Confessionals Wednesday. So we're going to... Okay, we'll hear that next.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Got a big event coming up on Monday night. The Texans and the Bucks taking each other on, and we are going to head to Hammer and Nails Grooming for Guys. Your chance to be a full member and get the full member experience on me is right now. In fact, if you email me, Kravitz at 969thegame.com, just tell me that you're interested. I'll give you the breakdown on what exactly we're talking about here. It's Hammer and Nails in Windermere. You can join us for an exclusive Game On party, and you're going to be treated like a member. You get a free drink. You get a haircut service of your choosing, a mani-pedi for guys available, barber, if you need your haircut, whatever it is. And they do a phenomenal job at all of that, making guys feel very comfortable. We'll have pizza there as well. It'll be a good time ahead of that Bucks-Texans game. That's Monday, September 15th at Hammer and Nails in Windermere. So if you want to go, just email me, Kravitz at 969thegame.com. That's Hammer and Nails in Windermere.
When we guys hear the word hormones, we think that's a her problem. Mood swings, menopause, hot flashes, that's her lane, right? Wrong. The truth is, guys, your hormones crash too. You just don't talk about it. You feel tired all the time. You've got brain fog. You're not interested in sex, or maybe your body isn't cooperating. Sound familiar? That's why I'm talking to you about Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness. They treat men and women. They treat couples who want to feel like themselves again. Dr. John Carazella left his successful practice as a Yale-trained orthopedic surgeon to dedicate his career to what really matters, keeping people at their peak performance for life. Why? Because too many people, both men and women, are suffering and not getting any answers from traditional medicine. Fellas, it's time to step up. Help her get her spark back and get yours back too. Go to hormonesandwellness.com. That's where all the information is. Hormonesandwellness.com, because this isn't about getting old. It's about getting right.
There's a disabled vehicle blocking the center lane on I-4 eastbound approaching John Young Parkway, and earlier accidents getting cleared up through the city on I-4 eastbound just past that State Road 408 exit there. Look out for emergency crews on the roadways. You're going to run into some familiar delays this afternoon on I-4 through that amusement park area. Traffic starting to slow down on I-4 eastbound before St. John's River Bridge. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by eBay. Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at the prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
IKEA is celebrating 40 years of making home dreams possible in the U.S. Visit us in store September 3rd until the 23rd for limited time offers and experiences like our Ortianta streetwear collection, our new Tilvercott furniture, daily chances to win gift cards, and more. Come celebrate 40 years of meatball-fueled shopping, brave attempts at our Swedish names, and the inexplicable need for stylish modern design. Offer valid September 3rd through September 23rd, 2025. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary. See store and ikea.us.com for details. Restrictions apply.
What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you could choose one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon, with big bank reliability and small bank resolve. You get 160 years of financial strength and stability and an enduring commitment to personal service. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all to help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank. Visit firsthorizon.com/getitall.
Football season has arrived, and BetOnline continues to be your #1 source for all your football betting action. BetOnline has all the latest odds, news, and scores from every pro to college game to baseball, cage fighting, and hockey futures. BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering info. Head to the website and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program, level up bonuses, and weekly cash boost. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Boxing fans, Night of Champions 12 returns to Caribe Royale, Orlando on Friday, September 19th. Undefeated Kevin Brown defends his WBA Continental North America title against Juan Mesa Angula. Former heavyweight title challenger Luis King Kong Ortiz returns to take on Philip Henson. Plus, undefeated Puerto Rican prospect Roberto Riviera Gomez and local stars Antrevious Ingram, Jobed Colazo, and Joshua LeBron. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or CaribeRoyale.com/boxing.
A clutch performance is great on the football field, but when it comes to your freedom, clutch play from your legal representation is vital. When your freedom's on the line, you need Trey Flynn in your corner. Trey is a board-certified criminal defense attorney with 18 years of criminal defense experience. Trey's record speaks for itself. He defends DUI cases, serious felonies, and will fight tooth and nail to protect your rights and your future. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey.
Just because an injury doesn't show up on an x-ray doesn't mean it isn't real. We know doctors that specialize in whiplash, sprains, strains, and tears. They can help us prove your pain is real and fight for your future medical needs. Farah and Farah.
Orlando.
If you want your windows there and wait, pick up the phone and just text free.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game, sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
America's #1 app for radio is iHeart. Live radio, trusted DJs, breaking news, live play-by-play, plus the station you're listening to right now, anytime, anywhere. Join the millions who already have it. Open the free iHeart Radio app today. The #1 app for radio.
The Fantasy Fix rolls on Sunday, September 14th for week 2 of the NFL season. Who can we trust? Who's a mirage? We answer it all every Sunday starting at 10 a.m. We're breaking down the matchups, the sleepers, the busts, the props, all the plays that can help you win your week and hopefully win your league. It's fantasy football news up to the minute right here on FM 96.9 The Game. Don't set your lineup without us. We get back to it on Sunday, 10 a.m. on the Fantasy Fix.
I'm Elton John. When he was just 13, my friend Ryan White was diagnosed with AIDS. This was 40 years ago. At the time, he was shunned and threatened by his community, yet his grace and determination to help change the world for himself and all those infected with HIV was an inspiration. He is part of the reason I founded the Elton John AIDS Foundation. Since it began, the foundation has helped reach over 100 million people at risk of and affected by AIDS. Learn more at eltonjohnaidesfoundation.org. Follow us at EJAF on Instagram.
#1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR, HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Free never sounded so good. This is a safe place. Your secret is safe with us. And the thousands of listeners tuned in live, listening on demand, and streaming across the state. But other than that, you're probably fine. It's time for Game On Confessionals.
Your time to shine. Text them in. Throw them on the iHeartRadio talkback. your shot at UCF UNC tickets throughout the course of the show. We will award a winner at about 4:55, but in order to be eligible for UCF UNC, you want to see Frost versus the Hoodie, you got to confess something. We want your deepest, darkest secrets, the kind of things you only tell your closest friends or even just yourself in the mirror. We want to know. Go ahead and text in 50857 or leave us a talkback on the iHeartRadio talkback line. Mike, you said that you had a confession, and I am just dying to know what it is.
Well, when I was, I think I was about 23, 22, 20, about 22. I was still in college, all right? And I was in a bit of a slump with the opposite sex, all right?
Got it.
I was in a slump, and I go to the bank one day, all right?
And then the ATM said, "Would you like to make another transaction?" Oh,
I don't
that was
remember.
mine.
No, I didn't steal any money like
Okay.
you. Okay. So I get out of my car to go into the bank, and as I'm going into the bank and getting out of my car, there's a very attractive woman coming out of the bank. All right. And I thought we had established eye contact. All right. Eye contact. And she sort of smiled at me. And I was like, wow. But, I go into the bank. I'm sorry. I was coming out of the bank.
This changes everything.
Yeah, I was coming out of the bank. She was going into the bank. All right. And we established eye contact, and I smiled at her, and I was thinking about saying something, but I didn't. But as she was in the bank, I went to my car and I scribbled a note that essentially said, "Hey, I just saw you outside the bank. I'd like to get to know you or something. Here's my number." And I left it on her windshield. How pathetic.
Wow. When did she call?
She never called.
It can happen any day now, Mike. Maybe she's just waiting for the right moment.
How pathetic. Is that the ultimate in pitiful being in a slump that you're trying to
It makes it worse. It does make it worse that you were trying to dig out of a slump. Now, if you were on a winning streak in this moment and you did that, hey, shoot your shot. You got swag. But in that moment, no, that's like trying to hit an 8-leg parlay when you haven't hit a bet in a month. Just take the over, take the under, leave it alone. I'm surprised when you walked out of the bank and saw a beautiful woman, you didn't go, my pockets are so much lighter now. My goodness.
I'm surprised when she got out of her car, I didn't say, "Hello, nice lady."
Well, don't you look good today?
Jerry Lewis. "Hello, my name is Mike."
Oh man, that is thank you for admitting that.
I've been carrying that around for decades.
You feel better? So you feel like 10 pounds lighter now. Oh, see this? This is unacceptable. We got one on the text line that says, "I eat grapes when I'm shopping at Publix."
I have no issue with that.
Publix employee, can you check in on this? Are we okay with that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so if a Publix employee isn't upset about it, not that.
Okay, but
he owns stock in Publix too.
It used to be, and I don't know if they do this anymore. It used to be they would have like just bunches of grapes, not in any sort of plastic wrapping. Do they still have just bunches of grapes?
No, we have bananas and oranges that are just
Okay.
out for the grabbing.
But they used to have bunches of grapes like just out there, and you would have to put the grapes in a plastic bag and take them to the counter. And that's when I would eat the grapes.
Continue to.
I don't tear a package open.
You just slam a grape real quick at Publix. That is insane behavior. Text in 50857. Let us know your deepest, darkest confessions. Also, if you want a ticket to Fight Night at Caribe Royale, you can text in the phrase Fight Night to 50857 right now. We'll give you a pair of tickets. You can also go online, CaribeRoyale.com/boxing to go and get your own. We're back in 60 seconds.
Live, local, in your face, and bald. Very bald. Let's send you to the studio for the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
We are back, broadcasting live in Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz, the premier sports talk radio show in the state of Florida. Continue to light us up on the Mills Air text line, 50857. We're also taking talkbacks today. It is a Game On Confessionals Wednesday. Either way you want to deliver them, we just want to read them. We want to hear them. 50857 or on the iHeartRadio talkback. Send us some good ones, and we will send one of you to UCF versus UNC, and we'll pick a winner by the end of this hour. Cool event coming up in Jacksonville this weekend for our Jacksonville audience. Tides Beach Bar and Grill at the Hampton Inn Oceanfront. It's a 1 p.m. NFL watch party. 2 for $22. Get you 2 hot dogs, 2 beers, 2 well drinks, or 2 glasses of house wine. $18 for a burger, chips, and a drink. Well liquor or house beer and wine. So a lot of really good deals and a good time that'll be had. You're overlooking the water in Jacksonville. Can't beat that. Sponsored by Planet Radio, AM 930 Fox Sports Radio, 97.9 KISS FM, and Country 99.1 WQIK. Mike, since we're talking about the NFL over the course of the week, and we're kind of in that limbo on a Wednesday where we're between recapping what we saw last weekend, still digesting some of that, but also it's time to look ahead at what's in front of you. I don't know if you've had a chance to take a deep dive into the upcoming schedule for the NFL, but I thought now would be a good time for us to do this together and for our audience to participate in their cars or wherever it is you're watching or listening to this show. A good way to wrap your mind around what is ahead of us, Wednesday being that bridge. So what we're going to do is a watchability rating system. 1 if it's a complete dog, and 5 if you will move mountains to watch this game. Go ahead, hit me with some music, and we'll go through the schedule. Mikey, you ready? Is this simple enough?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
We're going to start with Thursday night. We got a matchup between the Packers and the Commanders. No team.
Come on.
No team do people feel better about after week 1 than the Green Bay Packers taking on one of the most sensational quarterbacks in the NFL in Jaden Daniels. That's tomorrow night. If this isn't a 5, I don't even know who you are.
No, that's a 5. I mean, yeah, not only the Packers with, not only Jaden Daniels and the Packers, but you have, both of those teams' defense is vastly improved. I mean, the Commanders' defense played well. Packers' defense obviously has Micah Parsons now. That's a 5.5.
Okay. All right. We're zooming past the rating of 5 to get to a 5.5. Couldn't agree more. Let's go to Sunday. We got some 1 p.m. games that are a little bit more questionable than Packers Commanders. What about the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals? 2 1-0 teams. Somebody's starting 2-0 after this game. Could it possibly be Cincinnati, who always starts the season slow, or can the Jags back up what they were able to produce against the Carolina Panthers? So interesting one. Does it reach the levels of 5? It is Burrow
for
versus...
me, it does.
Yeah,
For me, because I'm a Jags guy, and I want to see the Jags defense against Joe Burrow, who didn't look, that Cincinnati offense in week 1 didn't look very good. And obviously you have Travis Etienne running against a questionable Cincinnati defense. But yeah, I won't be a complete homer. I'll give this a 4.
I think this is a really interesting game, even if you're not a Jags or a Bengals fan. A 5 it has to be levels of Packers Commanders. I think 4 sounds about right. So I'm fine with that rating. Patriots Dolphins, 1 p.m.
0.
The Patriots couldn't generate any offense against the Las Vegas Raiders last week. All this Drake May hype just went out the window. But the Miami Dolphins look like the worst team in the NFL. And so something's going to be right. Something's going to be wrong. I would say just take the under and move on.
Although I am intrigued by the game just because the Dolphins look so bad. And
it's like, are they actually that bad?
Yeah, you hope and wonder that they, that was just a fluke last week. But
that sounds like a 2. That sounds like it could be a 2.
Nah.
All right, you're still at a 0. All right, what about What about this one? The New York Football Giants, with Russell Wilson remaining as their quarterback, taking on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Both teams starting 0-1. This is a must-win rivalry game at 1 o'clock. I'm surprised this isn't the big national 425 game.
There's no rivalries in the NFL, first of all. But I'll give this. I'm at Russell Wilson. If Jackson Dart were starting, maybe I'd be intrigued by this. I'm going to give this. I'll give this a 1.
All right, that sounds about right. Bears Lions. We got another divisional matchup. This one's at 1 o'clock as well. The Lions looked putrid last week, but that maybe was because the Packers are so good. We'll find out. The Chicago Bears were good for a half and then fell apart. But this has storyline written all over it. Absolutely. This is the Ben Johnson Bowl. Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for Detroit, going over and becoming the head coach of the Chicago Bears. That has to raise the level of the rating, I would think.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love this storyline. And the Bears, they look pretty damn good for most of that game the other night. So I'm going to, you know what? Because Ben Johnson, you want to see if the Lions truly do miss him as much as it looked like they missed him last week. I'll give this one a 3.
All right. You are a tough grader, my friend, that gets a 3. My God. Let's move on to the next game. It's not every day, Mike, that we get a chance to sit back on our comfy couches on Sunday and watch Spencer Rattler take on Mac Jones, but we have that opportunity in the 1 o'clock window. 49ers, Saints. What do you got?
Is Brock Purdy definitely out?
He's not definitely out, but he is. It looks like he's trending that way right now.
49er, even with Brock Purdy, I mean, this is almost as bad as the. You know what? I'm giving this. I'll give this a -1. It's worse than the Dolphins. Patriots.
This is definitely the worst game of the day, but the spread would indicate that Brock Purdy is trending towards out. The 49ers just 3.5 point favorites with Brock Purdy. That number is probably closer to 8. All right, let's move on to another Battle of New York here. The Buffalo Bills, off of their thrilling win on Sunday Night Football, one of the best games I've ever watched. And then one of the other teams that was part of probably the other best game, the New York Jets. I thought the Jets-Steelers game was phenomenal theater. You have the Bills in East Rutherford taking on the Jets, the battle for New York. I'm curious where you land on this one because I can see you going in either direction.
No, I think this is, I would say this is, besides the Commanders and the Packers, I'm looking at the other, and besides the Commanders and the Packers, I would, and the Chiefs and the Eagles, obviously, I would say this is the third best game of the weekend. I'll give this one a 4.5. I like the storylines here. Justin Fields looked really good last week. And I like it. I like this game. And obviously Buffalo with how they look. Yeah, give me a 4.5 on this.
I think I'm in on the Jets. I like that. I like that game a lot. That's definitely the Jets are 6.5 point dogs.
Ooh, I'll take the Jets.
Yeah. All right. You mentioned it. Eagles Chiefs 425 on Sunday. Any reason not to give this a 5? It's only the rematch of the Super Bowl.
A rematch of the Super Bowl. Obviously, the Eagles blew out the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are going to be looking for revenge. They're at home. The Chiefs look pedestrian last week. Philly didn't exactly look lights out either. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. This is a 5.
Brady's going to be on the call for that one for sure. That one's 425 on Fox on Sunday. What about the Eagles? Or no, we already talked about that. What about the Broncos and the Colts? Is that a fascinating game? Because the Colts looked like a really good team in Week 1, but it's hard to tell how real that actually was.
Yeah, you want to see Daniel Jones if he can replicate what he did. I saw this stat. You probably knew it because you're in all these trends and stats and all this. The Colts had the ball 7 times, and they scored in all 7 possessions last week. That was the first Danny Dimes is the first quarterback since at least 1978 to pull that off.
Yeah, I saw that Peyton Manning never was able to accomplish that, but Daniel Jones did in a Colts uniform. That is
Amazing.
crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. The Broncos didn't look great, but they did get the win. So that's a fascinating game. I think that's going to be one of the tougher ones to pick in any sort of pick 'em pool this weekend. Last one, Monday Night Football. The Bucs are in Houston to take on the Texans. The Texans are a good football team. They lost to the Rams, but their offense is kind of tough to watch. Last year it was like that too. They have pieces, but I don't find them aesthetically pleasing. The Bucs, on the other hand, I do. And of course, it's one of our local teams. But where would you rate that as the Monday Night Football game?
I'll go 3.5, only because, not because of the Texans, because of the Bucs. I want to see obviously Emeka Ibuka and see what he can do again, if he can replicate his performance, and and also I want to see if Mike Evans gets more involved this week. What did Mike Evans do last week? Anything?
Not much. No,
I like this game. 3.5 is that's pretty good, right?
3.5 is fine. I would bump it up to a 5 because I'm going to get a free Manny Petty at Hammer and Nails right around the time this game kicks off at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
That bumps up to a 5 for me. All right, there you go. That's our watchability rating for this week. Coming up next, Bianchi seems to be feeling pretty optimistic about Orlando's baseball efforts. We'll find out why.
True.
Oh, all right. Well, there goes my tease. All right, we'll find out. It's okay. Well, we'll see what happens next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
It is the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. You want a truck that can handle work, weekends, and everything in between? That's the 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500, and nobody in Central Florida knows Silverados like Don Mealy Chevrolet out there in Claremont. Don started this dealership 50 years ago, when he moved here from Maryland. Now his son Jay runs the show, and trust me, he is as hands-on as they come. He'll even give you his personal email address. How good is that? Right now, save up to $11,000 and choose from over 60 Silverado 1500s in stock, from the tough, dependable work truck to the top-of-the-line high country. So there's a Silverado for every budget and lifestyle. Great trucks, good people. That's Don Mealy Chevrolet. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Let's talk about Pizza Bruno. This place is top knots. I mean, sorry, I can't get the garlic knots out of my head. You want meatballs, you want salads, you want fresh ingredients in every single mouth-watering bite. Pizza Bruno is your spot. Try my personal favorite, the spicy Stetson, crunchy pepperoni, big dollops of ricotta cheese, and hot honey. It is so good. 3 locations in Central Florida, Edgewater, Maitland, and on Curry Ford Road. Visit pizzabruno.fl.com and work up an appetite.
Emergency crews have moved that accident onto the ramp from I-4 eastbound to Orange Blossom Trail. Traffic's moving a little bit smoother now. There's a crash on the ramp from I-4 eastbound to Florida's Turnpike northbound getting cleared up. That's off to the shoulder. There's off-ramp backup piling up on Florida's Turnpike southbound to Osceola Parkway. Keep left to avoid those delays. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit.
Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
September 19th and 20th at T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. Streaming live only on Hulu.
Limited tickets still available at AXS.com.
Get yours while you still can.
Lenovo and the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Tech that hits different. Can your gear keep up with the beat? Lenovo PCs are built for creators, dreamers, and fans who don't hit pause. Visit Lenovo.com for the latest in AI PCs and game-changing tech.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers, all so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
A clutch performance is great on the football field, but when it comes to your freedom, clutch play from your legal representation is vital. When your freedom's on the line, you need Trey Flynn in your corner. Trey is a board-certified criminal defense attorney with 18 years of criminal defense experience. Trey's record speaks for itself. He defends DUI cases, serious felonies, and will fight tooth and nail to protect your rights and your future. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000, 407-213-0000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Out here, days are getting a little cooler, and mornings are starting with a few more layers. It's the season for more time at the grill, more feed for your animals. Heaters burn late into the night, and the woods start calling your name. We appreciate hard-working hands, shared moments, and love for our land. That's why season after season, we're here for your life out here. Tractor Supply.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you better have a lawyer who understands the traffic rules for big trucks.
And a lawyer who can navigate the hundreds of laws that can complicate your case.
At Farah and Farah, we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Orlando.
Protect your home with Eustace Roofing, where quality meets reliability. Eustace Roofing covers all of Central Florida. With over 65 years of hands-on service, they're ready to help you now. Invest in your home's future and get a free estimate at eustaceroofing.com.
If you want your windows there and we pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Win $25,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows. Pick up your phone and text the word WOW right now to 20129. That's WOW to 20129.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Alt 2K. A commercial-free look back to alternative from the 2000s.
It just takes some time.
With Foo Fighters, Weezer, Linkin Park, Green Day, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alt 2K, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio.
Thursday, Lambeau Field is the site as two of the NFL's brightest young stars meet on Thursday Night Football. Jalen Daniels and the Washington Commanders take on Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Our coverage begins at 8 p.m. Catch every minute of Thursday Night Football all season long, right here on your home for the NFL. FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the absolutely free iHeartRadio app. The new home for the Miami Dolphins is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Just search 96.9 The Game. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Welcome back to the show. This segment brought to you by Wing House. How about a Wing It Wednesday for you? The girls wear pink, the energy is high, and the deals are delicious. All you can eat boneless wings and fries. It's the ultimate midweek feast, perfect for wing lovers who want to go all in. Pair it with the great service and a fun atmosphere, and you got a Wednesday worth celebrating right there, right in the middle of the week. 3 Central Florida locations, Wing House. Good food, beautifully served. Well, Mike, I don't know if I was hearing things. Jaden, feel free to chime in on this as well. I just heard us promote Thursday Night Football. I could have sworn the guy, the voice of God guy, said Jalen Daniels. Did I hear that right?
Now I have to re-listen, but
I'm
if
gonna
you
have to hear that.
if you listen to another ad he does, he says for the Hollow Scream tickets, he says Hollow or like some real weird version of it.
Saying hollow differently isn't as bad as mixing up the Commanders quarterback and the Kansas Jayhawks quarterback.
Fair.
I think yeah, we'll have to listen back to that. I wasn't sure if you caught that either, but
I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
I did catch your latest article at OrlandoSentinel.com. Cheap plug.
Thank you.
From what I gathered, you seemed optimistic about Orlando's baseball efforts. But as I was teasing this in the last segment, you said not so much. I'm going to read. Go ahead.
I'm more optimistic based on the news of the day than most people are. Most people on the news of the day yesterday that Rick Workman, the major investor in the Orlando Dreamers effort to bring baseball to Central Florida, he has essentially defected and has joined the ownership group that is actually buying the Rays or in the process of buying the Rays. The ownership group led by Pat Zalupskis, the Jacksonville businessman. Rick Workman is now part of that ownership group, which made people think, oh, he's jumping ship to go join the Rays ownership group, and they're going to keep the team in Tampa, which is probably what's going to happen. It's probably what's going to happen. But I've been told that there's a reason that Patrick Zalupskis and that ownership group wanted Rick Workman as part of their group. Rick Workman lives in Orlando, has lived in Orlando for a couple of decades now. He founded Heartland Dental. He's a billionaire. He lives in Isleworth, and he has been a proponent and was the anchor investor of the Orlando Dreamers. Well, now he's a member of that group, all right? And the reason they want him as a member of that group is because if they don't get a stadium built in Tampa, they want an Orlando guy leading the effort to get the stadium built over here. So that's why, again, they're probably going to get the stadium built in Tampa, or at least that's their first option. That's what Major League Baseball wants. They want to keep the team in Tampa. I'm just saying that was always the case, right?
Yeah,
Orlando was always plan B. Orlando was always plan B. And nothing's changed. We're still plan B. That the Rick Workman news to me is better news for Orlando than if Rick Workman didn't join the Rays ownership group. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It totally makes sense. I think a lot of people are just waiting. They're just waiting for the news that's the official nail in the Orlando baseball coffin. So whenever you hear something that sounds like it could be that, you perceive it as such. Who did you talk to, if you're comfortable saying that, as far as getting to the point where you wrote about it, you feel comfortable with it?
I talked to some people at the Dreamers, and I did get a text from Rick Workman today, who did not tell me that, by the way.
Okay.
But yeah, and here's the other thing. All right. Again, I'm not saying we're gonna get a baseball team. I'll say this. I don't think Orlando's baseball effort is dead. I do think the Dreamers baseball effort is dead. But and I like those guys at the Dreamers. You know, Pat Williams founded it. Obviously, we all love Pat Williams. Jim Snorf, who's leading it now. I like the guy. I like the people that are working with the Dreamers. But if it's me, the sports fan, Kravitz, and you, the sports fan, I don't care. honestly, I don't care if it's the Dreamers that that own a team in Orlando, or if it's Patrick Zalupskis and Rick Workman who own a team in Orlando. Do you care?
No, dude, I don't care. I don't care if it's Shamu that owns the team.
Right.
I thought that it doesn't move the needle for me. I just hope they're good owners, and I hope more than anything that Orlando gets a baseball team. I do want to throw one other thing at you in the direction of the possibilities of Orlando landing a baseball team, because this is dismissed instantaneously whenever this conversation is brought up. And that is that Orlando will never get a baseball team as long as there is one in Tampa.
I agree.
Because you would have a third baseball team in the state of Florida. I would agree that that logic is sound, but does it completely alienate Orlando as an option? I think we may be overstating that a little bit. I think if Orlando is a good option for a baseball team, we are a good option for a baseball team in Orlando, independent of any relationship with Tampa. How many people, let's think about this in reverse, how many people in Orlando are occupying the Trop or George Steinbrenner Field or whatever the new stadium might be? They're after their market, which has millions of people, just like our market does. In fact, I think ours is bigger than theirs.
No, ours isn't bigger than theirs.
Well, it's close, but it's
when
close.
you throw in all the tourists we have, it's bigger, yeah.
But still bigger than a lot of markets that do have baseball teams.
Oh, no question.
So if you're saying, okay, but if other markets that do have baseball teams are smaller than the Orlando market, then market size isn't the problem. You're saying that it would be an elimination of an option because of proximity to Tampa. I think it would be foolish of baseball to look at it that way, to say that because there is a team in Tampa, we have to immediately eliminate the city of Orlando, when we are two completely different markets that are growing, that are densely populated. I don't hear anybody say that. I just feel like it needs to be said out loud by somebody that it shouldn't exclude us.
I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying. I think what you're saying makes more sense if the Rays were staying in St. Pete. But if they move across the bridge into the Orlando side of Tampa, I think that hurts our chances more. And Major League Baseball does want to have two teams in the state of Florida. I don't know if they want to have three teams in the state of Florida. Maybe they do. I don't know. But the common belief is that if the team moves to the Tampa side of the bridge over here, that might preclude Orlando.
Okay, well, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they can look at this with more of an open mind. Kind of like Paul Feinbaum has an open mind when it comes to the Florida State Seminoles. It seems like he's bought back in. We'll give you details on that coming up after this.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Get ready, Orlando, for an epic engagement event at International Diamond Center. It's 3 days, September 19th, 20th, and 21st. IDC's flying in the entire collections from both Tacori and Verragio. Hundreds of new rings to choose from. That's right, Tacori and Verragio, the world's two premier ring designers, together on the IDC stage with special incentives or zero interest financing through 2028. See Tacori's latest, handcrafted by the true California artisans with exquisite detail. And from New York, see the newest creations from Verragio, unique, distinctive, and personalized. Any Tacori or Verragio ring at this event, you buy any ring, you get a $500 IDC gift card. Buy the engagement ring with a matching wedding band, get a $1,000 gift card. Also, during this event, IDC will showcase hundreds of pristine pre-owned Rolex watches, all the popular models. It's an incredible chance to get the Rolex of your dreams. Don't miss this 3-day event featuring Rolex, Tacori, Verragio, all the premier brands in one place, September 19th, 20th, and 21st, exclusively at International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford, and Mall at Millennium.
If you're not just looking for good beer, but one of the best beers you'll ever try in your life, I encourage you to check out the menu over at Hourglass Brewing. 2 locations, one in Longwood, one near downtown. They call that their district location. Hourglass Brewing is a first-class brewery That did make the best beer ever, Zone Heads 35, and hopefully at the end of the year we get another batch of that as well. And they crank out the hits on the daily. If you love beer, no matter the type, IPAs, that's my flavor, sours, lagers, they have something for you. I guarantee that. And if you want to save a buck or two, stop by for happy hour. $3 I4 iSource citrus lagers from 4 to 6 p.m. all day on Mondays. They even have wine, ciders, seltzers. They've got something for everyone. Cozy up to the bar, get to know their incredibly friendly staff. And again, they've got 2 locations that you can frequent, one in Longwood in my neck of the woods and also on Curry Ford Road. And stay tuned for more information on Game On Happy Hours, which will be happening over the next couple of months. It's Hourglass Brewing. We'll see you there.
What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you could choose one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon, with big bank reliability and small bank resolve. You get 160 years of financial strength and stability and an enduring commitment to personal service. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank. Visit firsthorizon.com/getitall.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a best man speech, but getting one from some random +1.
I can't believe I'm standing here today. Seriously, why am I standing here?
Don't settle for just any insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Miami-Dade County, Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
Listos todos.
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. For well-qualified customers with autopay plus tax and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Minimum 4 lines on plan. Contact us with canceling lines. Plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Week 1 of the football season is over, and I had so much fun on Prize Picks. I can't wait for week 2. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy, where you can turn your insights into income. All you do is pick more or less on a player's stat projections, like Baker Mayfield's passing yards or Travis Etienne's rushing yards, and in less than a minute, your lineup is set. That's it. Prize Picks also invented Flex Play, which means even if I miss one pick, I still cash out. Plus, withdrawals are fast, safe, and easy. This week, I've got my eye on Trevor Lawrence for more than his projection of 247 passing yards, and Emeka Egbuka with more than 59 receiving yards. And don't worry, if one of your players gets hurt the first half, you're protected with their injury reboot policy. Get in the game with me. Download the app today and use my code Bulldog to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Bulldog to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 9/13. Plus, save more with the Easy Rewards program only at Staples.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
The long snapper for the UCF Knights, Dalton Riggs. I need you to settle something for me. I heard a rumor that during the weather delay that you guys had, which lasted way too long last Saturday, that one of your offensive linemen ate about 5 Jersey Mike subs. Is that true?
I'll tell you what, man. I did have about 2 myself. I was hungry, man. I had not eaten since like 4 or 5, and I was like, hey, you know what? We might be here for a while. I think I could see that going down. I could see a lineman in about 4 or 5 of them.
It was Paul Rubel.
It was Paul?
Yeah. Yeah, he actually said it
awesome,
himself.
Man.
He said that he ate 4 to 5 Jersey Mike subs during the 2-hour delay.
I mean, he had a good second half, so maybe he needs more.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Florida is preparing for their SEC football opener. It's at 4th-ranked LSU Saturday. Gators looking to rebound from the loss to USF. The Rays' prospective new owners are meeting with MLB's ownership committee and looking for approval of the $1.7 billion deal. And an investigation by The Athletic has found rampant mistreatment of female Detroit Tigers employees by at least 8 male employees. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Paisano's Stone-Fired Pizza has been voted #1 by the Orlando Sentinel readers. And now here is your chance to try for half off. You can get a $50 gift card for just $25 at CentralFloridaSaves.com. That's CentralFloridaSaves.com.
Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Stand up, Tallahassee. We're talking about your 2-0 Florida State Seminoles here in just a moment. It's a Game On Confessionals Wednesday. Your final chances to chime in with your confessions. We're going to hand out a winner at the end of the 4 o'clock hour for UCF UNC tickets, Frost versus the Hoodie at the Bounce House. Tell us your deepest, darkest secrets. Got some good ones coming in on the text line at 50857. If you really want a fast pass to winning, hit us up on the iHeartRadio talkback. We will read your texts, and you can win if you text in, but it is like the fast pass to getting onto the radio if you drop a talkback on iHeartRadio.
A good talkback. A good talkback.
Right. A good, not a pot. We don't want a pocket dialer. And don't be boring, okay?
Right.
Don't be boring like me.
Be funny or controversial.
Be funny.
Have a take, don't suck.
Exactly that. Well, one of the reasons why Paul Feinbaum has made it in this life that we call sports talk radio, sports talk media, is because he doesn't suck, and he does have a take. And if you want one of the biggest voices of Southern college football to buy back into your program, it's easy. All you have to do is
Alabama.
That's it. That's all you got to do, and he'll be all in. Paul Feinbaum, one of the most outspoken critics of pretty much all things Florida State University, claims that he is back in.
I'm in. I'm a little bit disappointed they gave up that field goal. I thought it was going to be perfect, but Florida State is back. Mark it down right here. Sell all your stock and everything else. Listen, they have a long way to go, but I think Mike Norvell restocked his roster, and they're looking legitimate. They do have a couple of big games ahead, though.
Okay, so that's all it takes. Just beat Alabama. Obviously, a 77-3 win over East Texas A&M isn't going to be what has somebody that knows college football saying anything like, well, this team is back. Even though I do think that on Monday you said it was something of a statement. But anyway, but it is possible, folks, that Alabama's not good. Okay, that we haven't seen a whole lot of a sample of this season, and it is possible that is the case. But Florida State looked good in the one big game that they had. Mike, do you agree with his assessment? Is he rolling over like a dog, already saying that FSU is back after just one good game?
Well, I thought I told you this, and I stressed this ad nauseum before the season. I thought adding Gus Malzahn to that coaching staff would be a big deal. In fact, what did I predict? Florida State would go from the worst offense in the Power Four, 132nd ranked in the country last year, to I think I said top 20 in the country in offense. And right now they are number 10 in the country in total offense, averaging 555 yards per game. Obviously, they had the East Texas A&M game in there. That's not going to keep up. But I do think Gus has made a major difference. Mike, the thought was and the hope was for Florida State fans that last year was just a historical, ugly aberration. And maybe that's all it was. Florida State has never been that bad. They've never been that bad since before Bobby Bowden got to the freaking university. So maybe it was an aberration. And I do think it's an indication of today's college football that you can go from really good to really bad and from really bad to really good pretty quickly. And it looks to me like Florida State is about to do that.
Yeah, I still can't wrap my head around the ranking. Going from unranked and really thought of as a non-factor this year in college football to beating an 8th-ranked Alabama team that's preseason ranked, so that's not even a fully legitimized ranking of they have this impressive resume and that's what got them to this point. Ranked 8th, they win that game and they have zoomed all the way up to number 10. I just think the overall ranking of where Florida State is based on the limited knowledge we have of what this team can actually be this year doesn't completely line up. And it has people like Paul Feinbaum and yourself buying all the way back in and Florida State fans out there. And I just fear that people are getting their hopes up for something that isn't actually there. It was one great game and maybe it turns into several, but we could look back in a couple of weeks and go, wow, Florida State had a great performance against Alabama, but they're kind of a middling team. I need to see it against Miami. I will not buy back in. So we're going to have all these conversations. It's September 10th right now. They're not going to play that game until October 4th. And they don't necessarily need to win it, but they need to be close to winning it. And it would be a whole lot better if they did. That's when I'll buy back into Florida State.
Okay, if they're going to beat Kent State. They don't play this week. They're going to beat Kent State next week. They should beat Virginia after that. Then they have Miami. Say they play Miami close. Say it's a nip and tuck game and Miami ends up winning it. And then they got Pitt, then they got Stanford, then they got Wake Forest. So that's should be 3 more wins. And then Clemson. That's their other test. And then they have Virginia Tech, NC State. And we don't know how good Florida is right now. So, if you look at their schedule right now, it looks like 2 or 3 losses at the most to me.
Well, okay, but this is the issue that I have with this perception of Florida State off of one single game is that they're back to a team that you can pencil in wins because they have Wake Forest on the schedule. FSU would be marketably improved if they were just a coin flip ACC team compared to where they were a year ago. And because they're Florida State and because of the brand identity, because they had a good game, we're automatically assuming that they're back to being a team that when you play anybody that isn't Clemson in the ACC or Miami, that you're just going to win that game. I'm not there yet with Florida State where I can look at them against Pitt and say, easy. Okay, that's a win. Next. I'm not doing that with FSU. I don't know how good Pitt is this year, by the way. So I don't know if they're a good example of that, but those middle of the road teams in the ACC, I'm saying FSU still might be one of those.
Could be.
That's my point.
I don't think so. I think when you beat Alabama, like they beat Alabama, and maybe Alabama's not Nick Saban's Alabama, but Alabama still has a ton of talent. Still recruits at top 5 level every year, still gets a bunch of really good transfers. If you they didn't just beat Alabama. They out-physicaled Alabama. They mauled Alabama. So that game was, in my mind, an eye-opener. So that's all I'm saying.
We'll see how long those eyes stay open. I want it to be true. I want FSU to be back. College football is more entertaining to me when they are, but I'm staying logical here. Up next, we want to hear from you. Hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback, also on the Mills Air text line at 50857. Your last chance at UCF UNC tickets right around the corner.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, Florida State had a great game plan against Alabama. In football, a winning season comes from a great game plan. And that's exactly how the Nickley Group sells homes. All right. Central Florida's homes are moving fast and for top dollar, but only if you've got the right team behind you. The Nickley Group will look at your specific zip code, your equity position, and your timeline, then give you the best options, including, I love it, their guaranteed cash offer. I've seen sellers take that offer and close in 2 weeks, stress-free. Other sellers hit the open market and get record prices for their home. That's what makes the Nickley Group the #1 real estate team in Central Florida. For a guaranteed offer on your home, visit thenickley.com. That's thenickley.com.
Sports betting has never been easy, but betting exchanges can make it a whole lot more profitable, and nobody does it better than Better Edge. So transparent, so honest, and user-friendly as well. Better Edge gives you that little extra advantage that you need to be a profitable sports bettor over the long haul. I've said it many times. I've been on sports for a long, long time in my life, but I didn't start making money until I started using Better Edge. So come and bet with me and some of the sharpest sharps around over at betteredge.com or on their mobile app. Better Edge also has different forms of competitions, including a Beat Brandon challenge that I put together every single week. It's tons of fun, and it puts the power back in your hands as a sports fan. Sign up for the first time. You'll get $20 on the house. Just use the promo code BeatBrandon at sign up. That's betteredge.com. Promo code BeatBrandon at sign up over at betteredge.com. That's promo code BeatBrandon for $20 upon your first arrival. Your premier social betting marketplace.
You're going to get caught up in some slowdowns on most of the major roadways this afternoon. Stop and go traffic on I-4 westbound through that Champions Gate area. Off-ramp back up from Florida's Turnpike southbound to Osceola Parkway. Traffic's piling up heading through the city there. There's a crash on Apopka Vineland Road at State Road 536 getting cleared up. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors. Trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality factory direct impact windows available, with most installs done in under 8 weeks. And now the giveaway is bigger than ever. Win $25,000 in brand new windows absolutely free. Just text WOW to 20129. Already entered? Then you're automatically eligible to win $25,000 in windows. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
When you're injured in a car accident and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car, it's time to fight back. Time to call Farah and Farah at 800-500-5555. Orlando.
Labor Day savings are here at the Home Depot with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like LG. Keep your routines running smoothly with an LG refrigerator you can count on from the Home Depot. And with the connected ThinQ app, you'll know if the door is left open and when to replace the filter. Gear up for fall with Labor Day savings on LG, America's most reliable appliance brand at the Home Depot. Offer valid August 21st through September 10th, U.S. only. See store online for details.
IKEA is celebrating 40 years of making home dreams possible in the U.S. Visit us in store September 3rd until the 23rd for limited time offers and experiences like our Ortianta streetwear collection, our new Tilvercott furniture, daily chances to win gift cards, and more. Come celebrate 40 years of meatball-filled shopping, brave attempts at our Swedish names, and the inexplicable need for stylish modern design. Offer valid September 3rd through September 23rd, 2025. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary. See store and ikea.us.com for details. Restrictions apply.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef. This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game, sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
In 1941, Ted Williams faced a choice. He was hitting .3995 on the final day of the season. Good enough to be rounded up to 400 if he had sat out. His manager offered him the day off so that he could finish the season batting 400. He chose to play in those games. It was a doubleheader where he went 6 for 8 and finished the season at 406, and nobody has touched it since. He could have coasted, but instead he held true to his own standard.
And what did he get for that? He dies and the sun freezes his head.
Let that be a lesson to you. You can do everything right. Someone might just freeze your head.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. The UCF Knights are heard here. This is a safe place. Your secret is safe with us. And the thousands of listeners tuned in live, listening on demand, and streaming across the state. But other than that, you're probably fine. It's time for Game On Confessionals.
The segment right here brought to you by Burn Pest Control, my go-to source for all things pest prevention. They don't just treat the problem. Joe and the crew solve it. They're going to keep your home protected from the bugs all year long with Burn Pest Control. I can't remember the last time I saw a bug in my house, just swatting them left and right before they even get there. Brandon, tell them that Brandon Kravitz and Mike Bianchi sent you by. Get 10% off any initial service at burnpest.com. Someone on the text line here says, just tuning in. Any Big Brother talk? Rachel gone with a no vote. Spoiler alert, people. The people out there. Yeah, she got done dirty at the latest episode of Big Brother. But no, Mike doesn't watch it, so I don't talk Big Brother on the show anymore. Tyler Karen did. We used to have a Big Brother draft back in the day, but phenomenal season this year for Big Brother. We have some admissions on the text line. See if I can pull through some of these. Somebody said that was talking to a member of the city council in a town of 26,000. We noticed a blonde that was driving in a convertible, stopped and looked and said, "Wow, I wonder where she's going." And I said, "I wonder if she's married." And he looks at me straight in the face and says, "Yeah," to me. So, oops. You got to be careful in the small towns. Just assume that everybody is either already wedded to one another or related in some way.
I like this one from the guy. Who got his mom in trouble? When I was 14, I took my mom's car out so that I could show off in front of some girls. I also had a pack of cigarettes, which I don't smoke, but at the time I was trying to be cool. Well, I was trying to use the car, the cigarette and the cigarette lighter and driving. I was looking down, and when I looked up, I noticed it was heading towards someone's lawn. When I reacted, I turned the car, but accidentally hit the passenger side mirror against a tree and broke it. I never told my parents, but I parked the car back in the garage. When my dad came home, he blamed it on my mom when she backed out of the garage. I felt really bad.
Oh, yeah, but you're 14, so
yeah.
What are you gonna do? You kind of have
you gotta let mom take the heat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess in some ways you have to know how hot your dad runs, but yeah, for sure. I think at the time you did the right thing, even though it's still pretty crappy. Another one here says I was backing. It's another car admission.
Right.
I was backing up my truck in the driveway and had a door hanging over the tailgate. Put a dent in my wife's 4Runner. Then one day we came out of Publix and she noticed the dent, went ballistic, thinking it happened in the parking lot. I've never told anyone this story. I know there's a lot of this going on. People not admitting their car infractions to their family members.
I have a confession. That one just reminded me of
Okay, let's
my
hear it.
first 2 weeks of Publix. I was grabbing carts and I definitely hit a car. I lost control of the carts and I just slammed right into a car and I just kept moving. Forgot it happened.
Did you were you trying to pack too many carts into the?
So
into getting
the
them
parking
back
lot's like a
into the
little
store?
downhill. So it started going downhill a little bit and one just scooted off my cart row, like my row of carts, and it just bang right into a Kia Soul. I grabbed that cart, never looked back.
Do you ever malinger in the parking lot? Just sort of, you don't really want to go back in
All the time. Yep. Every day.
Thank you.
just
So this,
malinger?
Mike, this goes perfectly into an admission that I have sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes, if I can wedge it right, I will put my shopping cart back in an area that isn't the cart return as a favor to people like Jaden to give them something to do out in the parking lot. Because if I worked at Publix, that would be my favorite part of the job, would be collecting the carts. But if they're all right there in the cart return, that part of the job goes from taking 20 minutes to taking 5 minutes. So I feel like I'm doing a service. As long as I'm not inconveniencing anybody that's parking at Publix, I feel like I'm doing a solid to the people that work there.
Tell me you're not one of the guys who wheels the cart and then lifts up the front wheels and just leaves it on the
curb. Yes, I do it all the time.
Oh God.
I do it too, but I come back for the carts. So I mean, I feel like I have.
Okay, but Jaden, you can actually solve this conundrum. Am I actually helping the fine people at Publix?
Yeah, dude, make the carts look horrible so I can stay outside. I'm cool with it,
This
man.
is what I'm talking about.
I grabbed carts for 6 hours one shift. Like, let's do it.
That's why the American economy is in the state it's in, because we have malingerers like Prime Time out in the parking lot, wandering around looking for a stray cart.
I love getting the rolly cart.
You should be inside stocking those shelves with coffee.
Yeah. Then eggs wouldn't cost $14, Jaden.
Yeah, blame me for the egg prices.
And I'm keeping you outside, so I guess it's partially my fault too.
Get in that stock room and get some of those cabbages out there in the produce department.
All right, the 321 number who texted in about damaging their mom's car when they were 14 years old. I'm going to go ahead and give you the UCF UNC tickets. Appreciate you guys texting in, hitting us up on the talk back. We do it every week on Wednesdays. Game On Confessionals here on the show. Coming up shortly, Bet It or Forget It, the weekly game show that has taken sports radio by storm. What did I say? Weekly? I meant daily. Yes. We're going to pause for a moment. Let the talented folks over at Fox Sports Radio get you all caught up with the latest in sports. Back in 60 seconds. Here is what you need to know.